Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff Mom Never Told You, production of iHeartRadio.
And welcome to another edition of Feminist Activists Around the World. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. As per usual, when I start speaking on any episodes, it's dark. It's been a bleak, well, I guess really several years now when it comes to what is happening in the marginalized community in the world of politics. And countries we thought that were moving forward have been moving backwards at what seems to be an alarming rate. Maybe we're just seeing it in a fast-paced way because it is bill season / election stuff has happened, and I don't know why, but it just seems like it's coming at a very fast rate. I don't know about you, Anney.
Mm-hmm.
In the U.S. alone, there are currently 430 anti-LGBTQ bills, and at least 150 of those are going after the trans community. And this is according to the ACLU and the Human Rights Campaign websites. And again, I'm trying to get as much updated information, but it's really hard to keep up because it is changing daily. Recently, and I think this is why I'm in such a dark place, the state of Georgia passed and signed SB 140, which bans certain gender-affirming care for minors or those who are under 18, with an add-on that they would prosecute any medical professionals who violate the ban, including taking away licenses. And just as a reminder for people who are like, but you know, this is about kids, whatever, whatnot, we're seeing what's happening in Florida, and it's not about kids. It's about the trans community. So don't lie to yourself. And the anti-trans bill are still coming, unfortunately. But when it does seem like it's so dark and the times are getting bleak, there are many who are and have been doing amazing work to advocate for the trans community all over the world. And today we are talking about one of them, and that is Ianne Fields Stewart, who, yes, their pronouns are she, her, they, them. And this is according to their site, which also describes themselves as Black, queer, and trans femme New York-based storyteller working at the intersection of theater and activism. So for that purpose, because a lot of the articles reference them as they, them, that's what we're going to stick with. So there you go, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Originally from Birmingham, Alabama, they would go on to graduate from Illinois Wesleyan University with a BFA in music theater in 2015. And then Stewart moved to New York, where they continued in their passion for theater and performing. They have worked in the performance industry for some time now, and they are known for working closely with their actors and collaborators to create an environment where everyone feels valued and heard, as well as seeking to create works that are actively anti-racist and allow for the voices of the oppressed to be heard. In their website, IanneFieldSstewart.com, they write, their work and she are dedicated to interrupting the exclusivity of luxury by making things like entertainment, nourishment, and self-care accessible to the most marginalized in their community. In a world that is constantly traumatizing Black bodies, she believes that Black, queer, and trans people should have the space and time to center collective emotional, physical, and sensual pleasure.
Which I love that. And with their passion, they began their work in activism and theater, taking on their love for theater and showing it as a way to advocate for those in the trans and Black community by organizing and curating a safe space for the Black transgender community to be valued as well as cared for. In 2019, they, along with their friend Nyla Simpson, founded the Okra Project. And according to their website, the Okra Project is, quote, a mutual aid collective that seeks to support Black trans people with a goal of alleviating barriers that the community faces. Through our programming, we help to redistribute vital resources to our community along our service pillars by promoting food security, safety, and mental health support.
Right. And in an interview with Black Women Radicals, Stewart talked about the Okra Project. And they said, the Okra Project actually started on my couch in December of last year. I was in a community organizing meeting and I was being talked over a lot by a masculine person. While I was disengaging from the conversation, the idea for the Okra Project came to my mind. I turned to my friend Nyla Sampson, who was sitting on the couch with me, and said, what do you think about hiring our friend Malik Zaddy August, who is a chef and the creator of Zaddy's Kitchen, and collaborating with Samson's Black Trans Solidarity Fund, to go into the homes of Black trans people who may be experiencing food insecurity or who are not able to go home for the holidays and cook for them. Nyla and later on Malik agreed and were on board with the idea. On Wednesday, December 19th, 2019, we launched the Okra Project with the intention and hope of raising $1,000. We dropped it at 9 a.m. that day. By 2 p.m., we raised $1,000, and by the evening, we raised $2,000. That Friday, we raised $6,000. Since the launch, I can comfortably say we have probably raised $30,000 to $40,000 for our community. We also started creating community events. The Okra Project really has taken on a life of its own and become something in the community that people can lean on and rely on in the community when they need to.
And they do a lot more. And during COVID, they did some amazing projects in making sure that they were able to really assist the Black trans community, which we know are often ignored when it comes to health crisis in general. So they did some amazing things. And yeah, their organization is still thriving. After Stewart stepped down from the Okra Project, it is now being led by Gabrielle Inez Souza, who is the current executive director. And one of Stewart's biggest platforms is the need for the Black and trans community in politics and in the public eye. They stated in the same Black Women's Radical interview, I think the truth is that Black women, Black femmes, and Black non-binary femme people have been at the center from the beginning. It's just whether you see us or not, and do you recognize us or not. To be honest, whether people do or do not see us or recognize us is something I'm not terribly tied to. I do not feel the need to make people see what is there, because the proof is in the pudding, you know? We've been here and we've been doing the work forever. Is it exhausting and frustrating that we have to put up with this and put up with people who refuse to acknowledge us? Absolutely. There's this really wonderful quote by Tracy Ellis Ross where she says, "I love being a whole and full woman. I am more than my parts, and we all are. And we all as women need to continue to change our gaze from how we are seen to how we are seeing. In the future of Black women's radicalism, Black women politics, and Black femme politics, I would like us to shift that gaze. Rather than attempting to address how we are seen, we need to address how we are seeing."
And their works have been seen worldwide, with their work featured in the New York Times, Out Magazine, Vogue, Forbes, NBC, so much more than that. They also have many accolades under their name, including being one of the U.S. Fellows for Humanity Actions in 2017 John Lewis Fellowship, the 2021's Logo Legends Award, and they were honored as the first Lucille Lortel Awards in 2022. So a lot.
So a lot. And I'm sure there's so much more that we may not have seen and continue to happen because they have been featured in so many things. I believe they also worked with Janet Mock for Pose. Yes, the very famous show. So they have continued, and I think they've won some amazing accolades for their performances, directorial stuff as well. And if you go to their website, you can see clips from different shows, and I believe them performing. So they do some amazing things, and I know they have a project in Alabama as well. So yeah, to say that they are running and working and advocating and fighting is to say the very least.
Yes. Yes. It's amazing work. And again, I'm sure this is someone we'll be checking back in on in the future. In the meantime, as always, if there's someone that we should be talking about in this segment, you can let us know. You can email us at stephanie@momstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter @momstuffpodcast or on Instagram and TikTok @Stuff I've Never Told You. You can also find us on YouTube. Thanks, as always, to our super producer, Christina, our executive producer, Maya, and our contributor, Joey.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.